Welcome to another episode of the Business Spotlight. I am here with Ivin. Ivin, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Yes, my name is Ivin Huggan. I am the founder and CEO of CutNet. It is a mobile hair service tech company where we send hair professionals to customers no matter the place. I originally am from New York and graduated college last year um, for economics. And during this process, I was creating this idea during my college year prior to the COVID pandemic, and I'm still currently working on it. And yeah, this is one of those companies where they question, mobile hair service. So yeah, it's in short called, it's basically I call it Uber for haircuts. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. The Business Spotlight is great for many reasons. Number one, it helps you, Ivin, be introduced to some of the people in my network, my community, our community here in Las Vegas. And it also helps me share with my clients what I do, highlighting successful businesses like yourself. I am actually excited to learn a little bit more about you, what makes you guys unique in the marketplace here in the Las Vegas Valley. And then the other thing is on the Business Spotlight, it's going to go out to my database and ActionCOACH's database, which is, thousands of subscribers and people that get to see and learn from you. So without further ado, tell us a little bit about your business. How long have you been doing it? And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I'll just make the summary of everything short in a way and concise. So, how I created the idea, originally I was in college 2019 prior to the pandemic, and it was my second semester of my sophomore year. And I was in college and I had a friend who went around our college campus to cut people's hair. And it was a side thing. And I decided to try them out because I usually have my barber back home, which would be an hour away where I used to be, which is my hometown called Poughkeepsie. And I tried him out, and for some reason, his service was great. Like I couldn't complain. It was great in the sense of it was convenient because he came to me to my dorm and our time worked perfectly. And on top of that, his skills was great. For someone who was around my age, he was able to be concise, focused, no distractions around. It's just me and him only. And I thought, why is this not mainstream? Why is it not like Uber? Why is it not like DoorDash? So I did some research, and funny enough, there is a company like that. So I thought, you know what? I'll give it a try. And the reason being because I was already in an entrepreneur class for my school, and I was thought of a clothing line idea, but then I started to really put all my eggs into one basket with this idea because as I was building this idea and also doing a clothing line idea, I thought, I'm gonna save that clothing idea for later and work on this.
Yeah.
So throughout 2019, I was doing research, creating some ideas for the idea, and then following that same year, I got into a Shark Tank event hosted by my school, became a finalist, failed, but I was able to apply for the regional that represents my region of New York State at the time, called the Mid Hudson Business Competition, hosted by Mayor's College. And I was a finalist for that again for my region, but of course, lost it again, only due to, well, people of older generation thought of, oh, this will never happen. Like, what about security? How about this is safety? All that questions. And then pandemic happened. When the pandemic happened, I was looking at articles, people complain about, oh, I can't get my hair cut. Oh, my hair's too long. I can't go to my usual salon person. And now it's just funny enough, the people who rejected me, now all of a sudden they can't go to their favorite stylist or barber or whatever.
Right. Right.
But fast forward to that year, 2020, I came to Vegas. Originally, it was to visit family, but I ended up living here and was convenient too. It was because my last year in college was just all through Zoom. So I was like, why not? So
Mm.
as I'm building the business, I'm handling classes, and I was able to fully register my business the fall of 2020, and I was able to register into a startup accelerator called Launch 1000, originally from New York, because I was still, it was all through Zoom. So I was originally from New York, and I was, well, one of the people, the first of entrepreneurs who applied to this from the New York Westchester region. And of last year, not only did I graduate college, I graduate the accelerator as well at the same time.
Wow,
And
congratulations.
thank you. And so after that, and after the launch of the business, I decided to create a promotion video, which is on my Instagram, on my business Instagram as well, and the website as well, from a promotion video showing a glimpse, a small little snippet of what the service is all about. But ever since then, been doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of barbers, talking to a lot of customers, being coached. It was very helpful. They had several iterations of the beta and of my beta app. And right now, we are currently at the stage of getting funding so that we're able to officially have an app made and be launched Q1 2023.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. You know, congrats. That's a lot of good value in what you said. Um, Something that resonated with me is that even through people telling you you can't do it, right? And just pushing through that alone is massive. We live in that society today where people are scared of entrepreneurship, but this is how things are shifting. I feel a lot more, especially the younger generation, are jumping into entrepreneurship because they want to make a difference. They want to make an impact. I will guiltily admit that I was one of those people that was like, hey, I need a haircut. I can't go get a haircut. And luckily, when I was in the Marine Corps, I was a field barber, not by trade, but it was something that I wanted to pick up because giving those fresh haircuts and looking clean, even though we were in a combat zone, Marine Corps had a very high standard. So
Okay.
during
So
the
that's a real
pandemic, I was,
decision.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was in communications in the Marine Corps, but it was just, you know, it resonated with me where I was looking for that barber and my barber couldn't cut my hair. You know, we were shut down. So I went back to just what I learned when I was back in those days, over 20 years ago. So
Right.
I really, really appreciate you sharing that. What's been the biggest learning curve since you started the business, Ivan, that you can share with us?
Well, people always say, and before I start, people always say, like, go to school, get a job, get a degree, stuff like that. And, there's business degrees, but do you really know how to run a business? There's a difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get the knowledge, just the knowledge, but there's a difference of doing it hands-on. So I've been doing this all raw, hands-on, learning as I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
No teacher, no paying a scholarship, no, not paying a fees to a college to learn something that I can just learn from YouTube or from coaches all around for free. No money paid down. And throughout the process of just learning as I'm going, I'm still learning as I'm going. I am
Mm-hmm.
still learning as I'm going. And that's the thing about entrepreneurship is that you constantly learn as you move. The markets change, economy changes, so you have to learn to grow, to adapt. You have to be comfortable in being uncomfortable when times do change.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I can say about that. And the other thing is so I'll give you like a few snippets of my journey so far.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, I don't know if any entrepreneurs will be watching this, but so don't expect family or friends to cheer you on.
Mm. Mm.
You might think, oh, good for you. Then they expect, because here's the thing, family or friends, they'll expect it to happen right now, overnight. They expect it to have it done overnight. Hell, during the pandemic, I had a car at New York, and I was considering, and it was at the time I was just visiting last year, but I was considering fully moving to Vegas. And foolishly enough, on my end, I really think, oh, we can just ship the car there. But then I sold it there brought the money there to Las Vegas to use it to buy a new car. But I had all these I had bookkeeping and like want to pay for business insurance and making sure like hey like just and also website development. So I
Right.
used part of the money. I didn't want to use part of money, but there's things I had to somewhat make sure to keep this baby alive. So ended up using all the money for that I sold the car at the time, which I had my family members did give me a little scolding about that. Like, why did you just do that? Because they assumed that I spent it on something else, something frivolous, whether it be partying or whether it be whether it be just going out with friends trying to show off. And it wasn't like that. I used a lot and a lot of energy to this business because here's the thing: people are gonna assume, and people will hear, "Oh, why'd you sell this car?" or "Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why is the business not? Why is your product or service not up? Why is it taking so long?" Yeah, that's the thing. People don't understand that entrepreneurs take a lot of sacrifice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to the people who work 9 to 5s. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to people who do work 9 to 5s, but
Right.
there's the old saying, work smarter, not harder.
Oh
And
yeah.
the ones who work smarter than harder are the ones who are multimillionaires, billionaires, stuff like that, who have people who have gone to colleges who working under them. And I've learned from Robert Kiyosaki, from Who Make Rich Dad Poor Dad, is that
Mm-hmm.
A students work for C students, B students work for C students, or B students work for D or F students.
Right.
Because in the end of the day, like, yeah, like people say, like, oh, you're getting Fs. You can just be a garbage man. If you keep getting these bad grades, you end up a garbage man. A garbage man makes more money than a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I keep using that comparison. But
Right.
besides the fact, you're gonna have a lot of criticism from both family and friends. You're not gonna have a lot of people reposting your business or like
Right.
trying to share every day or try you even use your product or service
Mm.
because they're so used to their old mindset of go to school, get a job, get a degree, you know, enjoy 401k, retirement. No, like, you want to change the world, and at some point you just gotta realize, like, okay, at this point in the time with our economy, things are not going so well, and we need to just adapt and overcome hardships. And if any idea that comes to mind that we can help change 1 million lives or 1 billion lives, so be it.
Yep.
At a young age, and this is from the billionaire himself, Elon Musk said, at a young age, you gotta take risks. You gotta take a risk. If you're young, don't have kids, don't have massive debts, take the opportunity to take massive risks because you never know if one idea or that first idea or second idea or third idea works because you never know. There's nothing wrong to try. It's just the thing is though with how things are, especially with the pandemic, kind of opened a lot of people's eyes to self-worth. That's the biggest
Mm.
component is self-worth. It helped people realize self-worth. That's why a lot of people are leaving jobs and doing their own thing. And I see articles even today saying how like, oh, why are people leaving jobs? This is crazy. Well, for 40 plus years, wages have barely gone up to allocate to how inflation has gone up.
Right.
So what's the purpose? What's the point? I'd rather have passive income than and go travel anywhere I want to, and or also be like Elon Musk, create cars or help help thousands to millions or even billions of people have better lives, change 1 billion lives to make $1 billion and have passive income and then go wherever, do whatever you want instead of working for someone for X amount of years and then you barely have time for your family. You barely have time for the things you want to do, the things you want to accomplish in life. So
Yeah.
I'd rather take that route and make the risk. So don't expect family and friends to cheer you on. They'll cheer you on when you actually have done it. And
Yep.
that's the reality of it.
Oh man, that's those are words of truth and wisdom because a lot of the clients that we coach are on that similar journey, right? Entrepreneurship, it's a lonely journey until you make it. and once you make it, they come out of the woodworks, right?
Yeah, and
And that
funny
and
enough,
that and
oh, sorry to
go
cut you
ahead.
off. Funny
No,
enough,
you're good. You're good.
actually, funny enough, when I started this by myself. I worked
Hmm.
on this for 2 years by myself until a couple of people from one of them from my college who lives in California, who's close by, decided, you know what, I want to help. Because when I first started the idea in college, just go on library, just typing all these ideas out, he would see me and say, one of my friends would be like, "Oh, that's an interesting idea. It's probably not gonna happen." A year later, "Hey man, how you doing?" "Oh, just still, no, just still working on this idea." It's like, really? Okay, interesting. This long? It's like, yeah. It's like, tell me more about it. Then he started to be part of my team for
Yeah.
marketing, and then all of a sudden, I had someone who is a sister-in-law in the family who, funny enough, does hair for 10 years. And funny enough, as I was talking about it to her and thought of, hey, like, you have managing skills and hair skills, you know the hair industry yourself, so you want to join up? And funny enough, she becomes my chief of operations because she has the managing and also the hair industry backing skills. So this helps too. Now, building the team, building the team, I could say this: limit the friends and family approach to like at least one or two. That's it. Let's not bring in the whole family or whole friends. Let's limit that because
Hmm.
I am limiting that because after that, everyone else is a stranger. You may
Hmm.
fire this person or that person, whoever. You might feel bad. Don't feel bad. In
Right.
business, you have to pull up your big boy pants and just say, you know what? I have to be ruthless. A lot you hear stories of Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and you know what they have in common? They're ruthless. They take no prisoners.
Hmm.
Like they might do it subtle or do it angry. Steve Jobs, he did it overtly. Everyone else today, they do it covertly. Like they might laugh, like laugh, talk to you, like think they're cool, relax, but if you do something wrong, they don't have they'll have no time. They'll have no time. They'll have no time for your nonsense, and they'll quickly cut you out. That's how it is. So don't be afraid to cut people off, and people get mad at you. So what? Like at the end of the day, it's your child yourself that you're creating to see it flourish and grow. And at this point, like I'm still standing. I went through it. I went through making what financial mistakes in my business, overpaying 1-800 accountant for CPA stuff, like because I was mostly eating up my finances for the business. Cut that out,
Hmm.
and things started to really slow down with the finances and gave me, a breather. See, this is just a learning curve. You learn as you go. And yeah, I've tried in-mail marketing. That didn't work. Who go like people go in the mail, they just see stuff because they just see like telemarketing, all those like paper letters, stuff like that. People don't have time, they'll just quickly throw it away unless it's mostly important mail. So I tried that, didn't work. So see, you just yeah, but it was eating all my money. But at the same time, you realize, no, this is a learning curve. See,
Yeah.
I'm making a lot of mistakes, but you learn from it. But that's how schools don't teach you. Schools
Hmm.
teach you, oh, you make a mistake, oh, you're punished. You're getting the bad grade. And
Mm.
but it's funny enough, in life, you have to make mistakes to grow. How can a baby instantly just get up and run without walking or
That's right.
crawling?
Hmm.
So it's a process, and people tend to forget that. And it's how our society is groomed to believe that sort of thing. So all in all, I do believe that people need to take account of people telling you what's right, what's wrong, telling you like, oh, you have to do this for your business, even though they never made six figures in their life, or
Right.
even run a business to begin with. So always be cautious of those who's comfortable talking their ear to you about how to do this, how to do that, when they never had experience themselves or never succeeded or failed or succeeded again. So I keep let people know that ahead of time. Now, the question that people might ask is, okay, you have all this experience, but like, what makes you so special based on leadership qualities? Well, don't get me wrong, I have done sales before. Sales is the one great component, and this is another one. This person that I follow, his name is Patrick Bet David from of Valuetainment. He has mentioned that listen, when it comes to entrepreneurship, make sure you know about sales. You know about selling. I've been to sales jobs before. I worked in person in sales jobs before, Sunglass Hut, Club Monaco, clothing brands, and also antique shops, like be able to sell, be able to grab people's attention. So selling is the most important main component. The other thing comes to leadership is that when I was in college too, not only as I was doing schoolwork and starting the business, I was also a president of my economics club, handling and teaching students financial literacy while in college through Zoom during the pandemic, and also creating virtual events too on top of that. So there was also managing a club through Zoom and keeping it going even through a pandemic. So that was another thing. So so when it comes down to certain situations, you tend to be tested on everything. But you'll be
Yep.
surprised that you have certain qualities that is within you, and it will start to show as time goes on. So
Yep.
that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, yeah. No, look, that was a lot of really good information, and some of the takeaways I got is the leadership, right? Education, and you had to test and measure from trying different methods and different strategies to market. And that's that's what we do is we have to test and measure, figure out, hey, this is working, this is not working, and then you streamline that and start to focus and make little incremental tweaks to get that business up and running and going. So the other big thing I got was you talked about risk, right? And you talked about how if we take risk, it's looked at a bad thing. And something that we coach here at Action Coach is you got to reward risk. You have to reward risk. And the reason why is that's how innovation happens. That's how people grow, companies grow. If you're not taking risks to get the edge on your competitors, then you're never going to grow. And
Yeah.
that's how we get our education through books, right? The books we read, the people who we surround ourselves with, that's what's going to take you and your company to that next level. So it's great to hear those words because it resonates with a lot of our core principles here. Now, let me ask you this question, and what's next for you and your company?
For right now, we are currently on the stage of funding, so we're currently working on trying to get investment funding. Right now, we're also trying to partner with hospice and wedding venues right now, so that we can let people know that we're able to help customers from different areas. That helps different industries for wedding and also for retirement homes as well. So that's starting from there. And plus, the reason also I think of you asked why Vegas, or along the lines of why here in Vegas. To answer that is
Mm-hmm.
because Vegas is a melting pot, because everywhere from people, every person from corners of the world come here to either enjoy themselves, network, meet meet people, famous people, who knows, just to tour.
Mm-hmm.
So why not capitalize on a tourist area that people actually would go more than New York City itself?
Yeah.
And
Right.
plus, on
Right.
top of that, compared from Vegas to New York City, Vegas is like a teenager compared to New York City itself. So it's still growing. It's still growing, still flourishing. It still has time to grow. So I say to people that Vegas is the hotspot epicenter for growth and economic development and entrepreneurship. And I started to be part of tech groups that are coming in from Cali and Florida and other places across the country here, and starting building here. So there is a niche, there is a market, and it's growing. And there are people trying to let people know that, hey, Vegas is not just about hospitality. There's other things. We're going to be a tech network too, as well.
Oh yeah.
So
It's here. It's here. Tech Alley, you have Tech Alley and then Vets and Tech. just
Yep.
relaunched their chapter here. So there's a lot of good things happening in Vegas. Definitely a place, not just for entertainment on the strip, but there's a lot of different cities within the city where you could do a lot of different things here. So you're right about that. It is a growing community. It is an opportunity town, and there's a lot of good things going on. Which leads to my next question. Look, we just got out of COVID. So along this entrepreneurship journey, what have you learned about yourself?
So when I was in during COVID, before I was, well, after the second Shark Tank event, I just had a little period of just went through like relaxing, recuperating, like when I went through with the, virtual Shark Tank. And there was just me playing video games, just playing video games right after, because my college kicked all the students out, so it was right in the heart of it. And I realized at one point that I just can't sit inside the house. I just cannot. Like I've done it through high school and being in college and then having to go through again, but just being only inside, not doing much. It was kind of revolting. So I decided to start reading books, and then I was wanting to work on myself because I'm a big fitness addict. So I
Mm,
started to go outside, and great enough, my hometown has a lot of hills. So I was running down the hills around the street, all that sorts of thing. And I was losing my way. I was being redeveloped. I had a redevelopment of myself during the pandemic. So my mind, my body, I was trying to have that aligned so that people will be surprised to see me like, oh wow, like this is he's a new person. Like, yeah, I didn't sit around and do nothing. I
yeah.
didn't sit around and do nothing. I wanted to learn, I wanted to redevelop myself. So that's what I did with the pandemic, and that followed up with me for the first time launching my own business.
Yeah, yeah. So during the pandemic, you noticed we needed some physical, right? So physical and mental, and I think they go hand in hand. The more
Absolutely.
we work out, it gives us time to think and be away from all the chaos and everything going on around the world. I know that for me, that definitely made an impact. Was there's a lot of trails in Vegas that you can hit. There's a lot of outdoor activities that doesn't involve a lot of people, so that was definitely something that resonated with me. What you just said is just getting out and getting some fresh air. Um, Another question I have for you, what are some exclusive offers that you're currently offering that for people that are looking to connect with you, and how can they get a hold of you?
Well, there's many places they can hold me. One, it's Facebook. You just type in my name, Ivin Huggan,
Mm-hmm.
Ivin, Huggan, Huggan. And then there's LinkedIn, which is same thing, just type in my name. And then also for Instagram is and then my last name with underscore. And then you can also find me now I'm on Twitter. So it's Huggan underscore Ivan. And yeah, for my website, if anyone wants to try the service, if you're in a Vegas local, you can definitely use the service right now. It's called CutNetLLC.com. So you can just sign in and register, and you'll be able to have your own hair professional go to you no matter the place, whether it be a hotel, office, your home, or wedding venue, or a hospice if your elderly parents need their hair done as well. So yeah, we're here to help.
Yeah. Well, look, thank you for taking the time to be on the business spotlight. We appreciate learning from you. And I know there was a lot of good information that you shed light with us and the viewers. So I know they're going to appreciate it. It's definitely going to inspire some people to know to take some risk. And yes, it is a lonely journey, but you mentioned having some coaches and mentors along the way have definitely helped. So appreciate that. Is there anything else you want to let the viewers know before we wrap up?
Just never be afraid to take a risk and expect a lot of backlash from both family and friends, but just keep going. Just ignore the noise. Just worry about you, because at the end of the day, it's you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Thank you, Ivan, for being on,
Thank
and
you.
I hope everyone appreciated your insight. And I look forward to the next business spotlight and seeing you at future events out there.
Absolutely. Same to you.